Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tally. The mission and the goal of this podcast is to bring an engaging conversation that will add value to the lives of everyday people. We will inspire, encourage, educate, and tell the stories of America's finest men and women in an effort to motivate you to live your life to its fullest potential. Be sure to follow us on social media and search Tuesdays with Tally. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the program as well. And now your host, Brian Tally.
Welcome back to Tuesdays with Tally Podcast, where we add real-life value to the lives of everyday people. Be sure to follow us on social media and on Spotify. The online information and handles are all located on the scrolling ticker at the bottom portion of your screen. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Anchor FM, and Spotify. Simply search Tuesdays with Tally. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to get every episode and stay up to date with the latest and greatest our guests in this show has to offer. Now, folks, today we celebrate day 141 of this brand new podcast. And today, episode 97. That's right, 97 episodes in 141 days. We continue to grow and, hopefully encourage and inspire, educate and motivate all of you out there who are listening. Now, I want to talk directly to the business owners out there that may be listening. Now, if you have gear, if you have merchandise, if you have products, services, if you want to get the word out about an event, folks, I encourage you to reach out to me right here today on this program. thetallybill@gmail.com. Email me today, thetallybill@gmail.com. Let's put a business plan together. Let's have you advertise everything that you need right here on this podcast. Let me help you reach your goals. Let's put a marketing plan together and develop a strategy to take your business to the next level. Now, I also want to thank today's show sponsor. Chase's Choice is based in Canyon City, Colorado, and they are an industry leader in cannabis and hemp products, and they continue to help and heal those in need. Whether you are struggling from physical pain, anxiety, depression, or having trouble sleeping, there's a product for you that will improve your quality of life. Ken, the founder of Chase's Choice, continues to engage in open conversation on the benefits of cannabis and hemp, CBD, CBG, CBN, THC, and all of the other cannabinoids found in the plant through extensive research and development. To learn more, visit Chase's Choice online today at chaseschoice.org. That's chaseschoice.org. Or call Ken directly. He's the owner, and he will take your call. 719-994-0141. That's 719-994-0141. Ken is here for you to help educate you and answer all of the questions that you may have about hemp and CBD products. CBD was Chase's Choice. Now, what's yours? Remember to always consult with your doctor before starting any alternative medicine products, and always check with your state and local municipalities on the laws regarding the use of CBD and hemp products. Now, folks, today I want to get into a health and wellness, if you will, and I want to share a little bit about my story and about my journey on what put me on a path to begin intermittent fasting, if you will. 1,261 days ago, I made an informed decision, and that I would be taking my life back. And I made a promise to myself to get 1% better each and every day. And I have remained laser focused and determined ever since I made my promise to myself to get better, right? To get 1% better, to do whatever it took to get me up and out of a chair and to begin to take my life back. Now, to date, I have fasted intermittent fasting now for 26,068 hours. My average fast is just over 20 and a half hours per day. I have never missed a fast in 1,261 days. Well, most will say, well, that's impossible, Brian. You've eaten before at 8 o'clock at night. Sure. Very rarely. I get invited to parties that may have a dinner at 8 o'clock, but I structure my day always around that event. I never have missed a fast, 1,261 days. My shortest fast was 16 hours. My longest fast was 44 hours. And again, it's all about preparation. And it's all about planning. And if you put your mind to something, and if you are so passionate about the change that you want to see happen in your life, you will make it happen, and you will work and you will strategize what's important in your schedule on when to eat and when not to eat. Now, first and foremost, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clinician, a health coach. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just a regular guy. This episode and this podcast is based solely on my experience and my personal story and journey. And again, I want to put this out there to perhaps help inspire, educate, and motivate you into doing something that is going to be far greater than yourself. You're not only going to help yourself, but you're going to be helping everybody that loves you. You're going to be surrounding yourself with nothing but greatness, if you will, once you embark on this journey. And like I said, intermittent fasting has definitely saved my life. I mean, it's definitely done things for me that I could have never, ever seen coming or ever imagined. Now, I wanted to have this episode here toward the end of the year. It's December 30th. And what's everybody thinking about right now? Well, they're thinking about the new year, 2023, the new me. These fads, these diets, everybody, a clean slate. I want to start new, and I'm going to be really motivated come the 1st and 2nd of January of 2023. And then all of a sudden we get 26 days down the road and it begins to fizzle out. And then that year just begins to just turn into every other year we've ever had. Days are just days, right? We get excited on these new years. Again, clean slate, new year, new me. And then what happens? Life happens. Life gets in the way. And then oftentimes a lot of people will step back, reprioritize what's important, what they think is important in their life. And then they will move on and they will make those decisions. Are they always the best decisions? No, but that's what makes life life. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. And that's how we learn, right? So if you want to make a big positive change in your life, you have got to understand it takes a ton of discipline. It takes a ton of determination. It takes a ton of dedication. You cannot do intermittent fasting and create a new healthy lifestyle. This isn't a diet. This is making a lifestyle change. I didn't begin intermittent fasting one day to say, I only want to give it 30 days. When I went all in on this, I had done a ton of research from my chair as a broken, anxiety-riddled person and decided again, made that informed decision that when I was going to step out onto this journey and embark on it, I was going to be all in. That's the type of mentality I have. I'm an all or nothing guy. I'm either in or I'm out. There's really no gray area in my life. So you got to always know that when you begin to do something in anything in life that you wholeheartedly believe in and you want to see work, and you want success, and you want results, you need the discipline, the determination, and the dedication. You're not going to be 100% disciplined when you first start. That's where the 1% better comes in. If you just get a little bit more discipline each and every day, you will start to see those results. And once you start to see those results, it will become an obsession. Again, you can be obsessed in life when it comes to healthy obsessions. It's just that the negative obsessions are the ones that you want to steer away from. And yes, this has really become an obsession because, again, I have got to keep my mind, body, and spirit so focused, so disciplined when it comes to not eating and when to eat. Now, intermittent fasting is not for everyone. And I got to make that clear. It is not for everyone. It truly takes a concerted effort to stop eating. to put down the fork and to simply walk away. It's not easy. You will be starving and you will be extremely angry at first. Hangry is real. And, you can look around anywhere. And what are you always going to see? It doesn't matter where you go. Go people watch sometime. Go to the mall, go to the ballpark, go wherever. And you're going to see people always eating. People are always stuffing their face with food. And a lot of the times they're eating when they're not even hungry. They're eating just because they're just out socially eating. And then when they get home, they eat and they snack and they eat and they snack. And your body's never, it's never relaxing. It's never put in a state of repairing itself. And your body doesn't need all this food. It doesn't need all this calorie intake. Now, intermittent fasting is a tremendous learning curve. You will learn more about your body than you have ever imagined. And again, before anybody embarks in on this, and again, I'm just speaking from experience here, consult your doctor before ever engaging in anything like this, because it can be dangerous. And I'll get further down the road on here on how it can become dangerous. But again, I don't know what your health conditions are or what you're looking for in life, but I can always tell you this. Talk to your doctor, put a plan together, strategize if this is something that you want to do. I did it a little bit differently. I just, jumped and I went all in and it's been good, but definitely it has been a tremendous learning curve. Now, again, discipline first and foremost. I cannot stress that. Dedication. And you need to have the determination to succeed in this journey. Now, again, like I just said, have you ever just sat back and people watched? Now, I challenge you to go anywhere and you will always see people eating constantly. We are programmed to want instant gratification in life, especially when it comes to losing weight. And concentrating on a lifestyle change, it does take time and it takes a ton of effort, and you will eventually get there. And you have to always remember that this isn't something that's going to just happen overnight. You didn't put the weight on and get so unhealthy over a period of 2 days or a week or 30 days. It's been years in the making. So it's going to take some time for it to come off. And again, it's remaining focused and it's remaining engaged and having that discipline, determination, dedication, to help you see this, become reality, if you will. Now, in the beginning, I was the same way. I wanted instant gratification, as we all do. So I overdid it. Now, overdoing it isn't the best way to go about starting something new. And I know that now, but again, that's just my personality. I have a very OCD type personality. Again, I'm an all or nothing guy. So when I engage in something, I'm excited, I'm passionate, I jump head first and boom, I just figure it out, right? I'm a doer. I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. So when I get in the fight, I figure it out, right? Now, when I started intermittent fasting, it was in June of 2019, and it was approximately 3.5 years after I had suffered a catastrophic, life-changing injury. And again, that put me deep in a chair for over 3.5 years before I even stepped foot out of it. I wore that chair out. And, and it was at that time where I became morbidly ill. On top of me already going through this catastrophic injury, I put on so much weight. I was 308 pounds. I was pushing 310 pounds. And I was unhappy. I was unhealthy. I was living in an anxiety and depression riddled body. Sometimes not even knowing if I was going to even make it through the day. And that wasn't me. That wasn't Brian Talley. That wasn't the man I've always known to be. And after it took 3.5 years to say, I got to make a change. If I don't make a change, I'm going to die. I'm just going to die. But I love my kids and my family so much to just remain in this state of sadness and despair. And I wanted to get up, and I know my kids were watching me, and I want to set an example, and I wanted to get back to living again. Despite what had happened to me in January 2016, when I became ill and had an injury. Now, one thing you got to always understand is you always have to be ready for the change. If you're like 50%, like, yeah, I really want to do this and that, guys, it's all or nothing, really. You can't be 75%, 80%. It's got to be 100%, 110% all the time. And I was ready. A lot of the times, if you're not ready, you're not going to succeed. You have got to hit rock bottom to the point to where you say, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. I need to do something different. And you'll know when that moment comes. And when that moment comes, you need to take advantage of that moment. Because a lot of the times these moments appear, we seem to glance over them, or we close our eyes because we don't blindly want to remove ourselves from this comfort zone that has given us everything that we need in life. Again, in this morbid state of just sitting and eating and being sad and depressed. It's not the way to go, guys. There is so much hope and gratitude out there to be had. You just need to know when to open your eyes and to get into that fight, okay? Now, again, I had made an informed decision about what I was going to do when I decided to take my life back in June of 2019. And again, 1% better every single day. I pushed myself far more than that 1% when I first started. But that was the motivation that I used to remain laser focused on the journey that I was embarking on. I'm currently on a fast right now. Let's see. I'll show you the app I use. I am at 19 hours, and I plan on doing a 22 today. So I'll eat around 2:30 or so. And this is black coffee. Black coffee doesn't break fast. All I drink is black coffee and water. Now, when I started this, it wasn't easy. I struggled mightily at first. I probably went pretty aggressive at first. I mean, I did go very aggressive. When I started this, I wanted to instantly be better because I saw this new version of myself, this new recreation, and I liked what I saw. But I knew it wasn't going to come overnight, but I wanted it to come overnight because I had lost so many years of my life of living this miserable brokenness, if you will. So I became a vegan. And I love meat. And I did that for 6 months. I did not put any meat in my body. I really put a lot of pressure on myself. I was fasting every single day. And I became a vegan. And then 6 months later, I converted over to being a vegetarian. Now, why would you do that, Brian? Why in the hell would you want to become a vegan for 6 months and then transfer over to being a vegetarian? Well, again, my body suffered a catastrophic permanent injury throughout my whole entire body. And I was going to do whatever it took, everything in my power to help manage my physical pain and my inflammation, and to give me an opportunity to try to heal myself from within. So I dove headfirst. I didn't check the depth of the water. That's when a lot of people will go in there, they dive, they break their neck, right? They don't know the depth. So again, I started this very aggressive lifestyle change in combination with only eating fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Well, I realized that my body needed far more than that, especially 3.5 years in a chair. And prior to that, I ate whatever I wanted. I was in pretty good physical condition. Now, I ended up losing a lot of weight very quickly. I was only eating 1 meal a day. That's the OMAD. That's the 1 meal a day. Now, this new lifestyle change that I put myself on, it did lead to some hospitalizations. I thought I was having severe panic attacks, and I was. But it was also due to blood sugar levels and, my spiking and dropping and thyroid, whether it's overactive or underactive. And the results of all this is it feels like you're having a panic attack, anxiety when your levels are all over the place. Again, I wanted this so bad. I wanted to get better so bad. I did whatever it took. And it led to, again, to some hospitalizations, to some trips to the emergency room, and it sucked because I didn't deserve to be living in this life of hell, if you will. But I didn't want to do it anymore. So I did whatever it took to try to get out of it. But I was aggressive with it. And that's why I don't recommend you become aggressive with it. Okay. We can do this in baby steps. It's that 1% better. But again, that's all I knew. That's all I knew. I wanted to get better so bad. I did whatever it took. When that happened, I had an out. Doctor said, Brian, you need to stop fasting. My body had already been put through so much trauma. And I was a bigger guy. I was anywhere between, it was like 305 to 310 pounds when I started this journey, when I decided to get up and said, I'm done. I'm tired. And I needed to be eating far more than what I was eating. When I went home that day, I didn't quit. I kept on going, and I remained a vegetarian up until the 1 year mark is when I said, okay, I'm going to start eating whatever I want now when I break my fast. Now, 6 months into my fasting, I had lost 75 pounds in 6 months. And really, I never looked back. And I've been managing that for 3.5 years now. For 3.5 years now. So 2021. And I've learned a lot. I've learned the do's and the don'ts of fasting through my own experience, my own research, my own development, and really my own growth. I pushed my body to a literal breaking point. I pushed my body to the point of hospitalization because I was tired of living an anxiety-riddled, depressed, sad, morbid life. That's how bad I wanted to get better. It's still a struggle every damn day. Every damn day in my life, it's a struggle. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to know what it felt like. I wanted to push my body to the brinks of it shutting down. I wanted to push myself in ways that I've never pushed myself for. I wanted to become stronger mentally, as I had gone through some severe mental issues and losing my livelihood and being eaten from the inside out from an infection that ate my spine for over 4 months. It broke me. It broke me hard. Lost my business, my livelihood, my identity. And I was going to look at intermittent fasting as just so much more than just losing weight. Something that I could begin to grow with and improve myself mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now, again, after my first year, I stopped the whole vegan vegetarian and I began to eat whatever I wanted, but I still only ate one time a day. That's it. 1 meal a day is pretty much what I've done on this whole entire voyage that I've been set on now for 1,261 days now. Sometimes I eat 2 times a day, but it's still going to be in a very tight window. I don't really eat a lot of sweets. And if I do, it's it's very little here and there. After my injury, like I said, I lived in a chair for years. I gained a ton of weight, and again, it broke me. I'd given up on myself, and I had pretty much given up on life. And at times, I never really thought I would even make it through the day. The pain was just too much to bear at times, and it drove me further and further into my chair. I would just eat. Emotional eating is very real, and it's something that so many of us struggle with. Now, the majority of Americans want to make a change, and when they do, they realize it's not easy. It is not easy. Especially when you have a job to go to every single day, and you have social activities to do, and everything is based around food. Everything we do is based around food, high calorie intakes, everything. So people begin to make excuses, and the number one excuse out there is life is too short. Eat the cake, right? We all die. Sure, I get it, and I fully understand that concept very well. But the one question you need to ask yourself is this: do you want to feel better? Are you lacking confidence? Do you want to make a change? Are you ready to make a change? Now, if you've answered yes to all those, what will you do to get there? And I asked myself that same question, and I said, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I'm all in. Now let's talk about intermittent fasting. What are the benefits of it? And does it work? Yes, to me, it has helped me significantly reduce and fight inflammation in my body. It's also helped to lower my blood pressure and my cholesterol. Now, another thing that intermittent fasting has done for me is it's helped boost my immune system. Intermittent fasting is when the body begins to repair itself, if you will, and it helps the cells rid the body of any components that are old, that are damaged, or not really functioning properly. Now, a lot of the times, we're so busy eating and consuming food that our body is never given a time to relax and to work on itself. Because if it's always working on digesting and this and that, it never has rest. So it's always working. It's always, and then it gets overworked, and then your system it's a lot for the body to always take in food. And then you're putting in different types of food. And a lot of the foods aren't good foods, and processed foods and sugars and carbs and all this other stuff. And again, if you don't give your body time to rest, it's always going to be in that overworked state. Now, autophagy is something that will begin to happen at the 24-hour mark. Sometimes a little sooner, sometimes a little later. I'd say 24 hours is probably like a good, measure. Now, autophagy is what happens when you stress your cells completely into survival mode. This is when the magic in the healing begins. Autophagy helps by cleaning up and flushing toxins and infectious agents out of your body. Now, fasting is basically an internal renovation of your body, right? Your body's organs and tissues are repaired more rapidly, and it makes it easier for the body to redistribute any and all of the nutritional value to parts of the body that need it the most. And again, you're giving your body a break. You're giving it a break. You're giving it resting. Other benefits of intermittent fasting include weight loss, improved fat burning, improved blood sugar regulation, increased energy, improved gut health, and really a more youthful appearance. Some people call intermittent fasting the fountain of youth. I look back on pictures of myself. I've witnessed this growth before my very eyes, and I still cannot believe how far I let myself go. But I'm so happy that I changed it all and turned it around, because I'm here today to kind of share this story. And I'm not an expert, guys. I'm just making myself as vulnerable as possible to see if I can help people out there to at least light that fire, light that match of motivation, and then you can carry the torch from there. I'm just telling you a little bit about me, as I've never really talked about the intermittent fasting before on something like this, on this type of stage, if you will. People reach out to me all the time, and they ask me about it. And I kind of just give them, my opinions on it. And again, this came to me the other day, and I said, I should do an episode on intermittent fasting. Again, I'm not an expert, but I can at least talk about my trials, my tribulations, and my own experience in this walk in life that I'm doing with this intermittent fasting. Now, they say, well, Brian, 10,000 hours makes an expert really in anything. Well, if that's the case, I've spent 26,046 hours in a fasted state. Well, maybe I'm an expert in my own body, because you remember those hospitalizations and my blood sugars and thyroids and all this stuff. I worked through it. And that's when you began to learn your body. That's when I became an expert in my own body. I know my body now at 45 years old, not better than any time that I've ever known my body in my entire life. My body, I know what it can do. I know how far I can go. I know my limits. And there's not a lot of people out there that can say that about their body. I know people that can't go 3 hours without eating. I'm at 22 hours the majority of the time. I don't even really need to eat. So I'll go 30. Or sometimes at 18, I'll be hungry. I'll eat. And then I start my fast. And then I go on to the next day, 20, 22 hours, whatever it may be. I eat my meal. And boom, I'm right back to it. 1,261 days straight. Have never, ever skipped a fast. Well, what do you eat when you break a fast? Typically, I break my fast with fruit, raw fruits and vegetables, greeny, leafy vegetables, something that will absorb all that nutritional value, right? I'm not going to break my fast by eating a donut. You're not really going to be doing yourself any good by doing that. Again, you're doing this for nutritional value. You're doing this to change your life. You're doing this to improve your quality of life. You're improving this to help you, right? So why would you want to go 22 hours and say, I'm going to eat a fucking donut, right? So I always break it again: fruits, vegetables, raw leafy greens, and then I always have a salad. I always have some yogurt. I eat the Greek yogurt. It's full of protein. And then I always pick a protein. I eat a lot of salmon. I eat a lot of grilled chicken. I eat sirloin. I eat, ground beef. I eat, spaghetti and meatballs, whatever it may be, right? But I have a good meal. And then I always reward myself with my dessert. And that's trail mix. I love trail mix with the M&Ms. Sometimes I'll buy more M&Ms and dump the M&Ms in the bag furthermore, and I'll shake it up so I get more M&Ms, because that's like my dessert. That's my reward, right? If you will. So I'm going to 22 hours and I'm eating a good quality meal, and then I reward myself with the trail mix. Yeah, If that's your dessert of choice, hey, great. It works for me, and it's far less sugar than going out and eating a whole cake. Now, there's not a magic pill or a magic potion out there that will get you where you want to be. And that's what you have to understand. There's not a magic pill or a potion that will get you to where you want to be. The only thing that works is, I'm going to say it again, discipline. You got to be disciplined. If you want it, you will figure out a way to be disciplined. Exercise. Get out there and walk, right? Walk a block, 2 blocks, a mile, whatever it may be. Change your eating habits. Eat healthier. That doesn't mean that you can't, again, go out and have a piece of cake or, have a churro or whatever it may be. Have some ice cream. I'm not telling you to stop living. Just do it in moderation, right? I drink a ton of water. I'm always drinking water. Anybody that knows me knows I always got a bottle of water in my hand. I drink so much water. That's always cleaning out all that stuff, all that garbage, all those toxins. And then you need rest. That's where I've struggled a lot of the times over the years, because I live in pain. My neck's always in pain, my back, my legs. I have all these spinal diseases and problems with my bladder, and I have a kidney issue. And there's a lot of problems that really get in the way when I'm trying to get a good night's rest. But I'm working on that. I'm starting to use some CBD products and stuff like that are, helping me get the rest that I need, because that's the most important thing is getting a good night's rest. And my sleeping patterns have dramatically changed over the years to where I would only get maybe 2 hours of rest at night. Now I'm getting, a good 6 to 8. And, but again, that comes and goes. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And sometimes you just don't really even sleep. So you just got to do the best you can there. And even if you're not sleeping, just lay down and just close your eyes. And again, that's still considered to be rest. But again, getting into that deep sleep and then waking up feeling refreshed and all that stuff is going to be the optimum performance for what you are trying to achieve and accomplish here through this lifestyle change of intermittent fasting. Now, you have to do the work. You must do the work. The resources and the motivation is everywhere. All you got to do is just do some Google searches and this and that. There's resources everywhere. We live in the information age. There's no reason, really, rhyme or reason to not know everything you need to know about it. Now, the biggest challenge in this is always going to be you, because you're the only one that's standing in your way of success. You are the only person that's standing in your way of achieving a life out there that you have no idea that you could be living. Now, 7 years ago, my life changed in ways that I could have never seen coming or ever imagined, in a negative and horrifying way. But 7 years later, now my life is changing in ways that I could have never seen coming or ever imagined, in a positive way. But you got to always understand that you have to do the work, and doing the work isn't easy. It is hard. It is damn hard. But lean on people, get a mentor, lean on the resources. The motivation will get you started. The discipline will take you to the finish line, right? You will two things will happen here. You're going to either fail or you will succeed in this lifestyle. If you fail, that doesn't mean that you suck and, then there's nothing further you can do. There's other options out there. Because like I said, intermittent fasting is not for everybody. But you'll either fail at it or you'll succeed at it. There's no gray area here in intermittent fasting, because you either do it or you don't. That's the cool thing about this. It's you versus you. What are you willing to sacrifice to improve the overall quality of your life? Is it that hot dog at the ballpark when you know that you've already started your fast? But someone comes up to you and they have a free coupon for a hot dog, and you're 3 hours into your fast. What are you going to do? That's when you walk away and say, no, I've already eaten my meal today. I don't eat again until tomorrow too. That's when mind over matter. That's when the mental game starts. And you will get strong mentally from doing this. Mark my word. Because I challenge myself all the damn time. People are always like, here, eat. My family. Hey, Dad, have you broken your fast yet? Or are you still fasting? Because I want you to eat this. Just come on, just one bite. Nope, can't do it. Got to be disciplined. Now, in closing, I just want you to always remember that you are in charge of your health. You are in charge. You control your own destiny. Gain your own knowledge. Create your own strategy. Nobody is coming to save you. Only you can save you. Again, all the resources are out there. Mentors, friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, coaches, whatever it may be. They're there to help you and to guide you and to motivate you. But only you can save you. Only you can do the work. Now, I wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year, and may 2023 be the year that you take back your life and live the life that you were intended to live. I want you to stay inspired, stay encouraged, stay motivated, and always stay in the fight. Good night, Semper Fi, and God bless.